look for you. But if you're online.
Hello guys, sorry we had to start a new video stream as the old one kind of crashed, the original. So I hope you find this link fine, and I will give it a couple of minutes before I start actually painting and explaining to just make sure that everyone can log in and not miss anything. Maybe copy paste into page. Okay, so I shared the link. Please say hello or hi or something so I know that you guys are connected and you can hear me nice and clear. Can you write something so I know that it's working? Perfect. Yay. Perfect. Okay. If everyone is connected, then I will start the tutorial. And we will be painting this holiday card, coffee cup. And I will be teaching you how to make bubbles and how to make funny splashes on the paper. And I also have a surprise for you. So the surprise is that I decided not to just use paint, but I'm also going to use something unusual to make the coffee inside of the cup. We'll be using an actual coffee. So what I did ahead of time, I diluted it with water. I made it really, really strong. As you can see, it's really dark. And I will just dilute it a little more for a light layer and then use the thicker one for the dark color. However, if you don't have a coffee ready right now, I will be also on a separate sheet of paper. Actually, I will be using these two. So this one I've prepared for watercolor paint, and here we'll draw and paint along together, and I'll be using coffee for that side and see which one looks nicer. And then you can maybe repaint again if you like and try using coffee yourself. So for the watercolor paints, I'll be using, these are my paints that I use, koi. And I mean, watercolor paints, as I've explained before, they come in different forms. So there are tubes with paste, and there are also just hard, like dry watercolors. And then there are also pencils. So I'll be using tubes tonight. And also I prepared white gouache. We'll be using it for bubbles. So if you have your water ready and paints ready, let's first draw out the cup. Now your cup can be any size and any shape you like. So here you see I have very thin circle, but here I drew out a much bigger circle, and there are 3 rings because this time I want to make the edge of the cup and then leave a little bit for the inside of the cup. And then we're gonna have coffee fill in here. So let's start here. For the circle, I use a perfume bottle because it's a perfect shape to fit in here, but you can use anything you like. I mean, even the bottle of water would probably also be okay, but it's wet, so I want to try it. So I'll use a perfume and we'll draw it. Just don't press with the pencil very hard on the paper, otherwise it will leave very deep cut, because watercolor paper is very soft. So once we have our initial circle, then we'll make another one around, and that will be the thickness of your cup. So as I said again, you can make it as thick as you like, and we'll just go around. Just like that. Okay. Then again, it's up to you. You can either leave it as it is and we'll just have the edge and nothing inside, like we'll fill it in with our coffee, or you can make a little edge to kind of show the inside of the cup, and then we'll have the area that we will be filling in with coffee. So it's up to you. For this particular cup, we can make a little edge. So I'll make basically 2 samples the same, so we have a little bit of color, more coloring to do from inside. And then if your circle is not perfect, don't worry, because I mean, it's a cup and we're being creative and we're also just having fun. And please remember not to harshly press into your paper, not to damage the paper. So here's our not so perfect circle. And then let's make a handle. And handles as well. You can be very creative with your handles. And you can either add a little bit of edge right here, as you can see, or you can just make them straight, like in the sample. So for this one, I'll just go straight here. And again, it's up to you how you want the handle to look like. Be creative. And not to complicate on this side, I will just make it straight like this. Here, I create a little edge to kind of show you a little bit the bottom of the cup handle. But it's up to you how you want it. I mean, I have my coffee cup here with me, so I can show you. If you, okay, not to. See, right now, I wouldn't see the bottom of the handle at all. Can't see it. This way, you can see it now, right? From this side, right there, a little bit. So it's up to you how you want to perceive your cup and how you're imagining it. Up to you. My coffee, as you can tell, doesn't have any bubbles, so we're gonna have fun and add on bubbles onto our painting. I also have another little sample I can show you. I've done it earlier, just for kind of difference. So our bubbles, they're a little bit different from the bubbles here. Again, I will leave it up to you how you want your bubbles to go, where in the cup and so on. So let's draw our lines for the bubbles. Just slightly make a little border, and we can even make two. As you can see here, I made them in two places. I made some here and I made tiny little bit right there. And this is our kind of reflection of the light. So you can do the same thing. Make that little edge there for more bubbles. And I will do the same thing here. And I'll make it in this side. And then we can draw out our decoration on the corner. Again, be creative. Make some small, some longer, up to you. And I know I wouldn't usually draw these things out, the needles, but just to show you, you can draw them out now, just slightly, very lightly. And needles go from one point and then they stick out two from one point. So this is probably like, I know you can barely see it here, but this is probably important to notice. And I will show you on a sample paper after close up and enlarged, so you will definitely see what I mean. Anyway, so we'll finish this later. So let's start with our coffee cup, and we'll start with the centers, okay? So I'll show you first the watercolor example, and then we can go into coffee and just have fun with coffee. So this is our watercolor sample, and I'll probably just mark it with a little bit with the light W, and this one with C for coffee. We can erase it later. So the colors that we will need is a very light brown. And that color, if you have your brown color in your watercolors, you can lighten up with a little bit of white. And again, it's up to you how you want that color to look like. I mean, maybe you like to drink coffee with milk, so then it will be a little bit lighter. Or maybe you like adding some flavors and it's a strawberry flavor, for example, then you can have some, pinkish color in your cup. Or maybe you like to drink tea and then it will be very nice yellowish brown color. So it's up to you. Be creative and just enjoy the process. So I am using very light brown, and I'm making the mix very, very light, and I'm going to be using a big brush. And what I like to do, I like to first try on a piece of paper if I like the thickness. Just like that, see? So I think I like this color a lot. For the very light layer where the bubbles will be, we'll be using this. So once we're happy with our color, let's apply it from the inside. Just like that. Make sure that there's enough water on your brush. Otherwise, it will dry very quickly before you had a chance to smooth everything out. And then with a little bit darker brown, I will start kind of drawing out my edges. Need to move this out. Just like that. Don't worry if you went a little bit over the edge. We will fix everything after. If you went too far, for example, like really far, and you worried, just grab another brush, make sure it's really clean, and then slightly like this, see? And it will remove that extra paint. It might not remove it perfectly, all of it, but it will remove some. Okay, and then so we're gonna be applying a little bit more, and this time darker brown. This time you can just go carefully because it's already wet. Okay, so I will give it a second to dry before I apply next layer of dark brown. So I will go on to the other side for now for a second and quickly apply my coffee and see how that works. For the lighter color, I will just dilute it a little with water. Ooh, that looks nice. Kind of scary because I've never tried it. Just this morning I thought like, oh my gosh, when I paint, I just want to make sure I don't spill my coffee all over my painting. And then I thought, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Maybe I should use the coffee. Oh, there it is. Look at this color. That's nice. I went over a little. Let's see if this is just as watercolor. Yep. We can remove it. Nice. I like it. Okay, so let's see if we can add a little more. Yeah, it works perfect. Okay, so this will probably need to dry. Or I wonder if I can use the darker one right away. Ooh. Yeah, it's a little bit too much water right now, so I think it's better if I wait a little. Okay. I know I see it ran a little bit on the edge, so we can clean it. Let's see if it will. Yeah, this is perfect. Because anyways, we will be painting over with the paint watercolor, and it will be colored over. Very nice. It runs a little bit more, I noticed, than watercolor. Okay, so let's take care of our dark brown here. And I think I will add a little bit of black to my brown now at this stage. And I'll go very carefully darker. Nope. Let's try more. Yeah, we'll let it dry a little more. It's getting there, but it needs to be a little bit drier than this. So how are you guys doing? Say hello. I would love to chat with you guys. See how are you doing, if you're painting alone or just watching. Let me see this one. Yes, our coffee needs also to dry. Okay, so we'll wait for that and let's get to the cup. And something makes very loud noise, I think, in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I apologize if you hear it. Okay, so let's get to our cup. Your cup can be any color you like. As you can see, for this one, I painted it in red. Here, I painted it in blue. So it's up to you which color you like. I'll use red. So we'll start with a very thin layer of red. Don't go heavy right away. Just because we need a little bit of light edges as well. And remember which circle is which, right? So we're leaving a little bit of the inside of the cup, and that can be absolutely any color you like. And then this is your edge. So we'll be applying. There we go. Just like that. And don't worry about the pencil lines. Once you apply more, once you apply more color, those lines will just disappear. You won't see them anymore. And then afterwards, you can always clean the extra whatever pencils are sticking out with your eraser. And I went over the edge there. There we go. Now you can apply second round a little bit more of red color and create those lights and different shades, a little bit darker, leave the lighter ones. Make it fun. just like that. Well, watercolor is not an easy media to paint with, only because I find like once you apply color, there's very little you can do in terms of fixing it. While let's say when I paint with acrylic, you know, you can always paint over, but you don't have this kind of luxury with watercolor. I mean, there are certain things you can still fix in certain ways, but again, to a certain point, once that point is crossed, there is nothing much you can do and you would have to repaint. So that's why for me, I always feel like almost scared when I start painting, because I don't know, okay, will this one turn out or it will not turn out? But then it's not really a fear, it's more like a perfect challenge, right? Because you need to challenge yourself a little bit. That's how I'm doing this side with the coffee. Now let's see what's gonna turn out from it. It might not turn out at all, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of darker red now. One sec, just mixing. I don't know, can you see my colors? Yeah, they're not really visible. So that's my red, the original clean red. And right here, I'm mixing it right there. So now it's a darker one. It's too dark, so oops. There we go. And again, keep going until you're happy with what you're seeing, how your cup is looking. Sorry, I keep going away from the camera. There we go. And you're free to message me, please, if you see that I'm not noticing that I'm painting off the camera. Just let me know. Or if you have any questions or need me to slow down or to explain something, just let me know. And why I go over and over is because I prefer to go light and then go slowly darker. So if I notice that I'm messing up somewhere, I can always color over, so make it a little bit darker, and I know I still have room, you know, instead of like right away going with very dark colors and then finding, okay, well, that's too dark now, and I made lots of mistakes, and now I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. Okay. And now I can take my very nice bright red and just add it here. There you go. Remember, we're just playing around, and I will be showing you now how to make bubbles in the cup. So that's, I think, what it is about tonight. Just having fun, learning some new techniques, and you can always, after, repaint and try it again if you think this time it didn't work out. Okay, so I'll leave that edge for now to dry, and I want to try to color the brown more because I'm not happy how it's turned out. So I will just use my already prepared dark brown right here and make sure it's, I'll probably use a bigger brush. Hold on. Wash this off. Clean my brush. And use a bigger one. This brush takes more water. There, that's what I'm looking for. And make it a nice circle motion when you're applying with the brush, not up and down or side to side. There. And then we'll take just a little bit of like very dark brown, almost black. And oops, my brush split. And just the edge is apply a little bit more of it. Okay. That's it. Now we're gonna let it dry, and I will try to see if my coffee will work. But I think for the coffee, since it runs so much, I will just use a smaller brush. And this brush is number 6. Oh, there it is. Number 6 brush. You can use number 5 too. It's pretty close. I wouldn't go bigger though. Okay, so let's see. Yay! So really, this is the true color of coffee, right? There you go. I'm gonna leave it like that. I think I'm happy with this color, so I'll just leave it that color. Now, by the wall, and we're gonna do this with the other cup as well, I'm gonna add dark colors now, right there. Just kind of marking the edge. And then I'm also, once this is dried, so we can try it on this side actually, I'll show you what we need to do. So I'm gonna get my dark brown, go slightly by the wall, just like that. This edge as well. And now I do want to go a little bit into the color. So we'll make it like very light wash, just not a lot of paint. Don't pick up a lot of paint. So again, we're talking about, see, very, very light. And with that light color, we'll apply a little bit on the edges and just make it very random, just like that. That will make your bubbles look more real. And we'll do the same thing with the coffee side. If you're using coffee, if you had the chance to go grab your Nescafe, I love the smell of it. Okay, so let's try this one, the coffee. And I will use that diluted water because we really need like very lightly kind of add. And you will see it will make a huge difference for the bubbles once we put the bubbles on. Okay, so I'll leave that cup for now and let's concentrate on this side with watercolor. So let's take care of the inside right here, this edge, and then we will work on the handle and we will work also on the edge of the cup because right now it all kind of looks plain. We need it a little bit darker. So for the inside, as I said, you can pick absolutely any color you like. I will make it just very light brown. Almost light pink. I'll show you. And actually, maybe I will add a little bit of red into that. Just so the cup looks a little bit different from inside. Yeah, see? That's nice. A little bit different. Here I went over, so I'm trying to use this paint to blend the color. If you chose a darker color, then it's perfect because it will just cover that little mess you made. Otherwise, if you didn't make any mess, just don't worry, continue painting. And here also you can make it interesting and make it a little darker at some parts and, you know, lighter in others. It's a coffee cup. Just like that. Okay, so now let's work on the handle and on the circle around, and then we'll go into bubbles. So we'll start with a very light red, same thing that we did in that circle first. And I'll leave a little corner completely white. How are you guys doing with your painting? And this is, remember, the bottom. So I'll paint it in now, but then it will be standing out once I finish the top. So now I can go into a little bit darker color, just like that. And I will also leave some of that red for the light. I'll probably cover it here. And now I need darker color here. I'm using a little bit of brown. There we go. And now let's just use a little bit of either very dark brown, if you're scared to go with black, pure black, or you can go with pure black and very carefully. So we're talking about gently on the edge. Okay, can you see? You'll be just applying very gently line of color like that, okay? Very gently. And we'll go from this side and around. I will go with a little bit darker. So I think that dark brown is a little bit too light for me. There we go. It doesn't have to be all the way around, but for the most part, just if you can make this very very thin line, it will make your cup stand out. There we go. And I'll apply a little bit on the edges of the handle. And you can always use your big brush to smoothen the edges. This brush just picked up some because the handle is still pretty wet. If you find that your brush is picking up paint, just add a little bit on the tip of the brush and then smooth it out, just like that. There we go. And if you went over with your paint, over your white area, clean your brush and you can pick up some of that color if you're doing it right away. See? That's it. And see how you feel when you're painting. Maybe you feel, okay, you know what? I feel like I need to add more black. Add it. If you feel that it's too light and you want to add more color, not necessarily black, but just any other color, do that. See, like that. Okay. Are you ready to go into bubbles? We will leave that coffee cup for now alone. Not gonna worry about that cup for now. So let's do the bubbles. So the bubbles will start first with the drops of our darkest brown. And yes, you're right. The dark outline made huge difference in the cup. Now you see it standing out. And that's why I'm saying don't be afraid to add a little bit of dark color around to the edges. And you can even do the same with the inside. But again, let's do the bubbles first and add the whites in. And then you will see where you need that contrast and where you need to add those dark colors to make your cup stand out. So going back to the bubbles, for the bubbles we'll need very dark brown color, basically the same color you use for the inside of your coffee or for your coffee, right? So we're gonna make it watery, not too watery, because too watery will just splash around and kind of get absorbed into the paper, and you don't want that. So I'm just making a fresh mix here. And actually, I think I will... Oh, okay, I have a little bit of more brown here. Now let me squeeze some more. So I'm using burnt sienna for my brown. Can you see? Okay, here we go. Now you can mix your brown actually with red if you like, and it will change shade of it. And then you can add a little bit of black to make it darker. So for example, this is how burnt sienna looks like, right? Here. Very chocolatey, right? But I'm gonna take it outside right there. I hope you can see it. And I can add some red into it. Ugh, I need more water in here. There we go. See how different it became? And that changes also how the color will look when you add black into it. The shade will change. So again, play with your paints right now. It's fine if, you know, you won't like it much at first. You can always fix it. So see, it's a little bit lighter than the other one, right? Because we added a little bit of red in here. So let's add black. And a little bit more. And here we got the color for our bubbles. And I will actually use the smallest brush for this because I don't want to accidentally put a lot of it. So the smallest brush is the brush number 1. I don't know if you can see the number. Brush number 1. That's how it looks like. So pick up some paint or wash, and we're going to do the bubbles. So bubbles are different colors. So we can do big bubbles, just like that. Don't be afraid. Small ones around, and other very big ones and smaller ones. Just be creative and Let's make a lot of bubbles. Some big bubbles on the edge here. Just make sure you're using your darkest brown. Some bubbles around. And we will be after adding some whites, so they will not look this plain. Okay, can you see it? Okay, I know it looks weird right now. How are your bubbles are going on? Are you doing great with the bubbles? And don't forget about that tiny little area. And you probably want to put just one like big bubble and then make a few smaller ones in there. And let's do the same for our experiment on the other side. And I will use the darkest, so the original kind of mix. Seems to be more watery actually, but that's okay. There we go. Oops. Okay, I guess it's gonna be a giant bubble. There we go. Here we go. So who's using coffee, guys? Any of you using coffee? Okay, any of you drinking a coffee right now, maybe? Amir, are you really drinking coffee? Let's add the bubbles right here. If you're drinking a coffee, you might as well paint with it. Have fun. There we go. These are actually pretty cool. Probably it is because they are actually coffee drops. And they even shine. Look, I don't think, oh, can you tell? See? That's it. It's done. I don't even need to add whites. But we'll wait till they're dry because I'm sure to add whites into those drops, I will need them to dry. Okay, so let's get back to here and let's finish our bubbles now with white. So, shake my gouache. And I have my palette right here. There's a clean side. Can you see? Yeah, okay. Oh, dip my finger into coffee. Okay, so gouache is mixed. Again, I'm gonna use very small brush for this. And I will just use, add very little bit of water into this gouache. Gouache is already pretty watery. So you don't need a lot of water to add, just like literally one dip of your brush in, and this will be probably enough. Okay. So we're gonna make bubbles. They will look like that. See those pretty ones? So we're gonna add white just in one corner. So choose one side and stick with one side of where you're putting your white color, on your left or on your right. And let's start. Even the smallest ones, this brush number 1 will be perfect to put dots even on the smallest bubbles. If you're afraid to apply, you can try first on your extra piece of paper that I showed you I always have beside me. And you can just try and see, kind of feel how your hand feels, when you put these dots. Maybe you need to apply more pressure, and make them a little bit bigger. Or maybe that, okay, can you tell? Maybe that small application is enough, just a tiny little. So yeah, always practice. That's why I always have my extra piece of paper beside me. I know it might take a while, but it's worth it. There we go. Almost there, halfway through. Oops. There we go. If you made by mistake a big blob, so let's say you put too much white and you completely covered your little black dot, don't panic. Once your white color dries, just grab that dark color and add a little bit to the bubble, outside. Look at them. How cool is that? Almost got the bubbles. And don't forget about your other little bubbles. Okay. And let's make one line here across as if it's a, reflection happening there. Again, very thinly. You can practice at first on your extra piece of paper if you like. Just on the edge, make sure that when you do this line, you still have a little bit of black. I'll show you. See where I put that white line? It's not right on the edge with your wall. You're actually leaving a little bit of black touching the wall, and then you're putting that white line there. Like that. Let's go this way a little. There we go. And again, be brave. Add a little bit more white. Make it look really white. The smell of coffee here is incredible. Okay. And see if you have your edges and you went over with your paint. Now it's the time you can just correct them a little bit while everything else is drying, because now we will be adding some dark edges and darker colors to make sure that our cup actually is standing out. And that's it for now. Let's go to our dark colors. Any questions, anyone? Everyone's so quiet. So let's use the dark brown. And let's go again. See here, I'm not too happy with this here. Just want to make it a little bit darker here. You don't have to. It's your cup of coffee. Even if, especially if you have a sample right beside you, like your cup of coffee standing there, and you see that your cup looks differently, make it the way you feel it should be. It's up to you. There we go. I love going into details sometimes. Okay, so let's just now finish up the area outside, and then we can do the final outlines. I feel like that way it would be better. Okay, so for the outline, or for the background rather, here I used blue, and then I did splashes of yellow and dark brown, the same dark brown that was inside of the cup. So it's up to you what background you want to make. You can use the same blue, and I only used blue because we will be drawing green needles there. So I thought blue would be perfect. But I mean, you can go with pink, or you can make it brown as well as the coffee. Probably as dark. Don't go as dark, maybe just a little bit lighter. And then I will also correct a little bit the inside. I feel like it needs a little bit of darker edge. See how I made it here? Dark on one side, and here it's lighter. However, in my other cup, I made darker edge in a different place. So again, it's up to you how you want to make it happen. Hello, Rahma. Oh, I know you, Miriam. Hey, how are you? Are you watching, or are you painting too? Okay, so let's do the background. We need a big brush. We need to mix our blue. I'll use blue again. So I will use this little space here, and it can be any blue you like, because you can, we will have to add a little bit of white into it. So I have very light blue, cobalt blue hue, and I have this very dark one Prussian blue. I'll use this one. I think this will look very nice and bright. Ah, you're just watching. Where are your brushes? Grab some brushes and a paper. Did you see the part where I show you how to paint with coffee? If you don't have paints, no excuses. Okay, so we'll add some water into your blue. I know my water is getting dirty, but that's okay. And I will add a little bit of this gouache white into my blue. And also, I will pick up some, and I think I will put here, and I'll show you why. Because I want to make it very watery, so I will need more water. See, just like that. And we'll be using very big brush. And we will start, see, very lightly to go around edges. All around, just like that. Go to your edges. Here, create some funky stuff. Go to the edge again if you like. And then you can now dip into your mixed with white blue. And now with this running paint, apply it and then just let it go. So go like this in strokes and then let it go. Let it run with the rest of the water. If you feel you put a little bit too much paint, just add water. Clean your brush and add a little bit of water. And then you can even add a little bit of your brown into mix, because now it's a perfect time to mix it. There we go. What do you think? Okay, are you brave enough now for your yellow splash? Because it is wet and runny, it is perfect for splashes. So add a little bit of more water if you like on the edges. Get your yellow. There we go. Mix. And as always, first thing I suggest is always try on a piece of paper, so you can kind of just feel how your brush will splash. And you will do it like this. See? This is how your splashes will be with big brush. Obviously went a little bit far. Tick. Clean. There we go. Now let's apply the same to your coffee. Just kind of point at where you want it to be. There we go. Ah! Went on our cup. Scared? There we go. Sorry. Up. There we go. If some went on your cup, just quickly pick it up with your clean dry brush, or wet. Wet actually will work too. And we can fix this up later even. There we go. Accidents do happen, but let it dry and then we will come back to it and fix it. Make it look nicer. Let's make splashes of different color. How about some green? I'll even get a couple of greens. Again, you can do this with a big brush, or you can take a smaller brush as well. Make sure it's very, very watery, and do the same with your finger. There we go. And then you can do also the brown, if you like. If you feel like it's too many splashes for you, you can stop at this. There. There we go. Very nice and messy. Pick up a little bit of those colors. Now, while that is drying, because we need to let it dry, I'm gonna come back here and make my bubbles here. Okay. Oh yeah, it's dry and perfect now for the white. There we go. For those who are painting with me, am I going too fast? Please stop me. Let me know if I'm going too fast and I'll slow down. Or maybe I'm too slow. Let me know. I would like to hear from you. As you know, this is only my second live. So from the first one, I've learned a lot. The setup of my camera, the sound wasn't really clear last time. So I'm learning. Okay. Here are our coffee bubbles. Actual coffee bubbles. I'm gonna add some more very dark coffee here. And now I'm gonna go back to the other cup and do the same, adding a little bit of dark. There we go. Okay, ready for this one? Okay, dark color, like literally, like I would say probably black, but I know I'm mixing in some brown into it, just in case if it runs a little onto the rest of the brown, then it will just blend in nicely. Just grab a little bit more. Okay, let's try. Ooh, it's happening. It's up to you how far with the dark color you want to go. Yep, these are just drops of black. And as you can tell, we're almost done. We'll just do the outline of our cup again. Looking good. Okay, cleaning my brush. Those colors are still wet. I want to see if I can maybe... With the cotton, I'm using cotton, just pick it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. And to paint our branches, we'll use brown, darker brown for the stems, right? With our number 1 brush. And I think I have 3 branches here. Make them a little bit thicker, closer to the cup. And it's up to you if you want to put berries in there or not. Total up to you. Last time I put berries at the at the end, because I thought they would look nice there, even though the first sample, see, when it was just didn't have any berries in there. I like highlights on the branches, so I will just add a little bit of yellow at the edge, at the ends, sorry, like that. And then go with the dark brown. And probably I can even add a little bit of black right here. That's it. Now I'm gonna let it dry before I start putting green branches there. So I will just go with my black around the cup one more time with my brush number 1. Thank you, Miriam. I know you're not painting along right now, but when you have a chance, you can sit down and just replay the video. The video will be staying on my YouTube channel, so you can just always replay it for yourself and pause it anytime you like, and then paint along and see how it comes out. I would actually really like to see your paintings, guys. And so if you would like to share them with me, that would be amazing. So you can either go to my Facebook page, Kseniya Ali Art, or to my Instagram. On Instagram, I think you can just tag me, or make a hashtag Kseniya Ali Art, and I will be able to see your posts of the painting, and then I will share them in my stories. On Facebook, you can do the same thing. You can either tag me or just send me directly as a message your paintings. I would love to see how your cups turned out, because I'm also learning from that, right? That will let me know if I'm actually doing a good job, or I need to explain more or show more. Sorry, my voice is a little bit changing, I guess. There we go. I'll have a sip of my probably cold coffee now. Oh yeah, it is cold. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave the cup at that. I'm actually pretty happy with it right now. You can make it better. As I said before, this is your world. Be creative, add layers, add things to it. We are just having fun. That this is all about just fun and enjoying the time painting. So let's go to our branches. Actually, I will continue with this brush. So I will start with the lightest color that I want to use on the needles, and usually it's a very, very light green. Here I used to use this see that shade, so I will just make more of it. I'll let the yellow run, and I will add my green, and I need more green, so I think that's too much green. Okay, let's add a little bit more of yellow. There. And actually, I will go a little bit lighter, but I will do it outside because I really like that color too. I mix a lot when I paint. I make way too many mixes, I think. I mean, look. See, this is my other palette. And I have another palette, and there are a couple of more palettes. Let's try if we like this color. I think it's pretty cool. Nice kind of yellow with a green tint. So let's go with that. And remember what I told you, so the needles come out kind of two from one spot. So keep going around. And if you think that your needles don't look natural, don't worry. In nature, everything is very random, and you will just have unique needles. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't you agree? There you go. And I usually do this, so I will use very light green or yellow. Oops, making a little mess. For all around, throughout my branches. And then I will be adding some dark greens only in the spots where I think, they should look darker. Here I'm imagining that this branch is going lower, so that's why I'm only slightly making lines for the other needles. I'm not really deeply putting them in place. And this branch is on top. Next, right? So this branch is on top of the other, and this one is on top of the other. That's how I'm imagining it. Also, you're free to imagine and draw it however you like. And then I will go with this darker green, and now starting to apply the paint only in certain areas and leaving some of that yellow. See, just like that. There we go. And I'm going to use even darker green now for just maybe some of the needles that are closer to the cup, because you can understand they will be darker, right? But again, this is your world, so make it as pretty as you like. So I'm using this dark, the original, this green, the original green. See, just a little bit. There we go. Same with this. And you can even make it a little bit darker. So there are two ways to make a darker green. You can either mix it with blue, but not with that bright blue that I showed you, but with that other darker one. And then add a little bit of black if you like. Or just mix into this green a little bit of black. I promise you, any way it will look nice. And guess what? We're almost done. There we go. Okay. Now for the berries. How are you guys doing? How's the painting coming along? Any suggestions for my cup? You guys are free to kind of guide me if you like. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to maybe fix up some stuff. Don't be shy. Challenge me. Since we're live. And I'm going to use this color for my berries. I think I really like this kind of like pinkish red. And I will use the smallest brush only because I don't want to make a mess in case my drop will be too big. I can, always leave it bigger, but if I use a big brush, and then it will be just like a big blob. So take a lot of color. Just get rid of the water on the brush. And I'm thinking right here, I'll put a berry. See, doesn't have to be big, but again, if you like them bigger, go ahead. There we go. And maybe another one right here. Where should I put another one? There you go. And then we'll wait just 2 minutes and it will dry. And we'll add our white to it. Just like that. And then it will be done. So now at this point, if you guys want to add a little bit more shading somewhere while the berries are drying, that's a perfect time to do that. And I'm thinking I will just add a little bit for the inside the cup by the edge right here. Just like that. Usually when I paint, I always find myself wanting to perfect more and more and more. And sometimes I would even leave my painting for until the next day, overnight, you know, and then I'll come back to it and then it will be clear to me if I need to add a little bit more contrast, you know, darker colors or brighter colors. Like here, see, we have those dots. I'm gonna fix them quickly now. But yeah, many times it will take me another day kind of to finish up something. But here now we're just having fun and we're just learning how to make these bubbles, which I think turned out okay. And as I said before, I would love to see how your bubbles turned out. Okay, I think there we go. Now we are ready for the white. Again, we'll use the smallest brush, okay? Number 1. Just making sure it's clean. Pick up some white. It's getting dry. Okay, just be careful not to make your white too watery, because if it's too watery, it will just run into your berry. So there we go. Make sure your white also is from the same side like your bubbles. Okay. And it's possible for one half to have a little bit more white than the other. Now my berries weren't quite dry, so the white is blending in. So I will let it dry a little bit and then put more white on top. And I will also add some more pink. I like them pinkier. There we go. Now I will erase my letters. So I will finish up this cup later. I just wanted to make sure now that you guys learn how to draw your cup and how to make the bubbles and splashes. And once I finish this cup, I'll be just posting it online for you to see. But here, I think we're pretty much done. Any questions? Please ask. I'm so curious how you're doing if you're painting alone. Okay, I think we're ready for our white. No questions, I see. Okay. So let's see if this time the white will work. Yep, it's perfect. As I said, watercolor is tricky. It's important to know when to apply paint, when not, when it is the right time, when it's not. So there you go, guys. Here's our painting. Now we would have to wait for the paint to dry before we remove the tape. And then when you remove the tape, just go slowly against your painting, okay? So not this way, but rather that way, so out of your painting. So I'll give it a little bit of time. If you're interested, I'm still gonna stay live, and then I can show you how to peel this tape off. There we go. What do you think? Did it turn out looking like a cup? I think kind of turned out fine. Oops. Okay. Let's check. Yeah, I think it's ready to be taken off. I think we can try. I mean, here it's still a little bit wet, but I can dry later. So I'll show you now how to take off your tape so you don't ruin your paper. So when you peel off, number one, we'll go very slow, okay? We don't go fast, we'll go very slow. And then we're going in this direction, like that. See how it's picking up the board? If you go very fast, it will start picking up your paper as well. There we go. Yay! Number one. Let's see which one is number two. I think we'll have to go here. I'll just open that side. Same thing. Away. Oop. There we go. See how strong this tape is? Okay, almost there. Oh, there we go. This is what happens sometimes. Just rips the paper off. There we go. Let's see. There we go. That will look nice and smooth. So I just use my this gummy eraser that I showed you before. I really love it because it doesn't leave any flakes after you erase pencil. And so I just a little bit smooth this edge out where the tape was, where the tape picked up the paper. and it makes it look okay. See? I mean, if it ripped really hard, then you might want to use maybe just a little bit of water to kind of let the paper, absorb and bind back together. But that's why it's very important to go just really slow. So when you see that the tape is picking up the paper, you can stop right away and just go slower. Okay, there we go. So that painting will still stay, and this piece is out. So I'm gonna get rid of all the pencil marks. And here you have your card or your painting. If you are planning to frame it, then you don't, oh, there we go. Then you don't have to even worry about that little edge because it will be framed in. Yay! Happy cup of coffee, guys. Let me know how it worked for you. I would love to see your cups of coffee or tea, depending on what you were making. Maybe a cup of coffee with milk, and so you used lighter colors. Let me know. I would love to see. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching me live. I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. And I cannot wait to do another live with you guys. Thank you.